That's right. I want to give you $1,000 to short China's economy. Why do I want to do that? Because my commitment to you is to make good investment decisions. And I think one of the best decisions you could make right now is to short the Chinese economy. In this video, I'll tell you why. But first of all, let me tell you how I'm going to give you $1,000. I believe this video will get over 100,000 views, and that will generate me about $1,000 in Google AdSense. So I want to give that to you. It's only going to go to one of you, but if you want to be a part of it, I'm going to tell you how you can get that $1,000, how you can short China, why you should short China, and how you can become wealthy.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Let me reiterate, I'm going to give someone $1,000 to short China. First of all, I want to explain to you why you want to be shorting China. And then secondly, I'll explain to you how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to get the money. The first thing is understand the demographics of China. They started a one-child policy back in 1975, and it went through 2015. As a result of that, China has very few young people. And that creates a decreasing tax base, and it creates a decreasing consumer base. So that is working against them. And in addition to that, for the last 40 years, they have been trying to become the world's manufacturing hub, and they succeeded. As a result, they moved young people into their cities, into apartments off of the farms. And on the farms, making babies was a priority. In the apartments in downtown Beijing and Shanghai, it is not a priority. And so their one-child policy continues, even though they disbanded it. They have an aging population. That is to say, as they advanced in the world, they got better pharmaceuticals, better health care, and so their citizens lived longer. As citizens live longer, they become more expensive. If you don't have young people who are supporting that in tax base, you have an aging and decaying society. That is the demographics that China is dealing with right now, and that in itself would destroy China. But you add to it, as a part of that 40-year growth, they have overbuilt their real estate to the point where Evergrande, their largest construction company, is in default over $300 billion worth of apartments. They're even in the position that they're starting to tear some of these apartments down because they're becoming a health hazard. Multiple cities throughout China. At the same time, the people who financed those were the middle class. They were actually getting into the rental property business. So they advanced Evergrande money to build them apartments that will never be built. So now they're having runs on their banks. They're actually, in some banks, are saying your bank account is no longer a savings account. It's an investment account, and your investments have gone bad, so you have nothing. What's resulted there? Tanks in front of the banks to keep people from running on the banks. Then you have their Belt and Road project. This was a project that they started back in the teens, where they were going into third world countries and extending loans to build infrastructure. And the plan was that then that would build a consumer base for China's goods and services. The people doing all the work, again, were Chinese contractors. And so the banks of China were encouraged by the Communist Party to loan out roughly $1 trillion now. And the fact is that's going bad because the companies or the countries that took the $1 trillion are not capable to repay the interest on the loans, particularly as interest rates have gone up, and that program is defaulting as well. So you've got the Evergrande default of $300 billion. You've got the roads and Belt and Roads project of $1 trillion defaulting. That amounts to $1.3 trillion. Well, to give you some reference, the subprime crisis here in the United States amounted to about $500 billion. So this is more than twice as big as the subprime crisis. You know what that did to our country. So if it doesn't leave the shores of China, China is about to collapse. Then you have the effects of the coronavirus, which has led to a massive movement around the world of deglobalization. That is to say that none of us want to be dependent on China for respirators, masks, or as far as that goes, semiconductors in the future. So there is a movement away from buying goods from China. The CEO of FDS reported to us that their planes are coming back half full. Amazon has reported to us that they're laying off 100,000 people. They have stopped the construction of 10 distribution centers, and they have closed down 100 last mile distribution centers because 78% of what they used to send us is coming out of China. As a result of that, they can't get the goods because of the lockdowns, because of the drought in China, which is creating a food crisis, which is also creating an electricity crisis and the blackouts in the factories. You add to that their no COVID policy, and you have an economy that is going downhill. Now, they're printing more money faster than we are, which is devaluating their currency. As the U.S. currency goes up and theirs goes down, nobody wants their currency. As China runs out of U.S. dollars because people aren't buying goods and services, they aren't going to be able to buy food and energy that they desperately need. So China is going to collapse, and I want you to invest in China's collapse. And I have an ETF, YXI, that will do just that. In the last 2 weeks, I'm up about 19% on it. What do I think it is going to end up being? I think it is going to be an astronomical growth product in my portfolio. So I want you to have money to do that. So what I'm going to do is take the proceeds off of this video, which I believe will be $1,000, and I want to give it to one of you. How do you qualify to get it? Well, the first thing you need to do is right now subscribe to this channel. If you're already a subscriber, you've done the first step. The second step is to fill out a form, an entry form, which basically gives me your name and your email address and your intent that you will take the $1,000 in short China, and in there I'll give you the ticker symbol. And then on Halloween, I will do a drawing on this channel, and we will put all the names in. I don't know how many there will be. We'll spin the wheel, and one of you will be the winner, and I will send you a check for $1,000. And it's up to you to buy the ETF which shorts China. That's the way this program is going to work. That's my commitment to you. I want you to make good investment decisions, and I believe the best investment decision you could make right now is to short China. But I want to incentivize you. I want you to say, I've got a reason, and it's Carrie's money, and so I'm going to put it down on the line. I'm going to put 100% down on the line, and I'm going to short China. That's what I want you to do. Okay? And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to find other ways to fund your future. I'm going to find other ways to put money in your pocket so you can invest. And that's what this channel's all about. I make a commitment, 3 commitments to you. 1, to help you make better investment decisions, and that's what this is. Number 2, is to help you keep more of what you make by learning our tax code. And number 3 is to help you build family wealth. And that is the government will allow each one of us to, I believe it's now, to pass $12,250,000 onto our heirs, income tax free. And that should be one of our goals. And one of the ways you can do that is to short China. So go into the link, First of all, hit the subscribe button because that's necessary. If you aren't a subscriber, you aren't going to be a player. And then you go into the description, find the link to the $1,000 giveaway, and then show back up on Halloween. Show back up every day as far as that goes because we're going to be doing more of this.